Hi, this is Javin Kharot, a chemical engineer by profession, going to continue our today's topic, extractive distillation column with example. Now, what is extractive distillation? First question. The extractive distillation is defined the distillation in presence of miscible, high boiling, relative, non-volatile component, the solvent that form no azeotrope with other component in the mixture. The method is used for mixture having a low value or relative volatility near the unity. What is difference between azeotrope and extractive distillation? The main difference between two is in process. The separating the mixture azeotropic distillation from an azeotrope right after combining the separation solvent in extractive distillation. The specific separation solvent is used in every mixture that should not form azeotrope. What is function of extractive distillation? The extractive distillation performs the separation, the close boiling component, azeotrope, in the presence, the miscible high boiling relative non-volatile component that form no azeotrope with other component in the mixture. Why extractive distillation is alternative for azeotropic distillations? Extractive distillation is usually more desirable the azeotrope distillation since large quantity the solvent have to be vaporized. In addition, a greater choice added component is possible since the process not dependent upon accident of azeotrope production. Now, what is difference between fractional distillation and extractive distillation? In some simple term, the extractive distillation is means separating two substances with similar boiling point by adding third substance. So change the boiling point of one compound, thus making the easier the separate, while fractional distillation is a process of separating mixture chemical compound. What are the limitations of extractive distillations? However, extractive distillation cannot produce high pure component product compared to azeotropic distillation because solvent coming from the bottom of the solvent recovery column. Now, when extractive distillation is used in petrochemical industries, the extractive distillation has proven to be useful in many different fields, include but not limited to pharmaceutical, chemicals, and petrochemical refining industries. One of the major applications, extractive distillation in petrochemical refining industries, is the recovery aromatic hydrocarbon. Now, what is an aromatic point? The extractive distillations. Water having a low boiling point is unavoidable and unaromatic aspect of the extractive distillations. What are solvent required used in extractive distillation? The solvent used in propylene glycol, ethylene form, the minimum boiling azeotrope with water at approximate 89.4 mole percent and 96 weight percent ethanol. Now, move further. Okay, what is different extractions? The main difference between distillation and extractions is that distinguish include the purification of a substance that is in liquid mixture, has extraction include purification substance that is either in liquid phase or solid phase. What is extraction process? Defined in a brief manner. Extraction is a process in which one or more components they are separate selectively from a liquid or solid mixture. The feed means liquid immiscible solvent. Afterward, in other, the regular or regenerated solvent, another separation step is final recall. What is relative volatility? Tell us. The relative volatility is measured comparing the vapor pressure of the component in a liquid mixture. The chemical, this quantity widely used designing large industrial distillation process. Now, what is entrainer in distillation? The entrainer record the separation agent used enhance separation of close boiling azeotrope by azeotropic or extractive distillation, in which distillation solvent is used increasing volatility. The extractive distillation solvent is used extractions help to after relative volatility used in extractive distillation. How do you separate ethanol and benzene? In addition, glycerol as extractive solvent. For this, the particle binary mixture is miscible with ethanol and insoluble benzene, which is very suitable for the extractive distillation system. What is example of extraction? Extraction is a process selectively removing compound the interest from a mixture using a solvent making tea is a good example. Extraction water is placed in contact with tea bag and tea is extracted from the tea leaf into water. Now, what are three main type extraction method? The three most common type of extraction are the liquid, solid and acid base. It is also known the chemical active extractions. Is extraction and washing they are same principles? Good questions. Extraction refers the removal product from a mixture leaving behind impurity, while washing refers to remove impurity from a mixture. What is extraction? The plant material. The extraction as a term used involves separation the active portion of the plant from inactive, the inert component. They using selective solvent in standard extraction processes. Now, move on. What do you mean by dry distillation? The dry distillation is the heating of solid material, the produced gaseous product, which may condense into liquid or solid. Dry distillation, in which chemical changes occur, is type of destructive distillation or cracking. Can we use distillation when relative volatility is 1, where partial pressure of component A into vapor pressure, while B in partial pressure component B in vapor pressure, and B is the total pressure of the system. Thus, if relative volatility between two components is equal to 1, separation is not possible by distillation. This is the perfect answer. Under what condition extraction preferred to a distillation? In general, extraction is applied when material to be extracted the heat sensitive or non-volatile, and when distillation would be inappropriate because components are close boiling have a poor relative volatility from acid. Why? Extraction a good way to separate and purify. Extraction is good way to separate and purify organic material because mixture the organic compound may have different solubility, making easy to separate and purify material once you start adding acid and base property. What are type of extractions? Liquid extraction, solid phase extraction, acid base extraction, supercritical fluid extraction, ultrasound associated extraction, heat reflux extraction, mechanochemical assisted extraction, and perceptions. They are the example of the extractions. Why extraction is used in as far as chemical industry is concerned? Extraction is a fundamental technique used to isolate one compound from a mixture. Become familiar with this theory and correct use. They are essential the successful completion of many organic liquids. What are type of solvent extractions? Organic solvent extraction method. There are three organic solvent extraction methods for semi-volatile compound. From the solid example, SOX, half extraction, extraction water mechanical mixing, such shaking or stirring, and ultrasonic extractions. What is difference between isolation and extractions? The key difference between extraction and isolation is that extraction is a technique in which we can separate a compound from a mixture, where isolation is a technique we use purity the extracted compound. Now, why methanol is used for plant extractions? The 70% methanol is the suitable solvent for extraction of all primary and secondary metabolite. It has good penetration to the cell contact. It is most common solvent unless you want to extract specific compound. Why water use in extractions? An organic mixture is extracted with water to remove highly polar material such as inorganic salt, strong acid or base and lower molecular weight polar substances. What are disadvantages of extractions? The disadvantage of solvent extraction that solvent will also dissolve unwanted pyrolysis product, matrix material and other substances, some of which involved phase with the subsequent analysis and second time evaporation of the solvent may also cause evaporation of same to volatile compound. Why solvent extraction is important as far as industry is concerned? The main purpose of solvent extraction is to isolate hazardous material from the sediment and sludge and separate useful components from debris for intact solvent in petrochemical refining industry is applied separate petroleum fuel either by making them float or sneak to the bottom and is removed. Now, what is process of solvent extraction? Solvent extraction is a process in which a compound transferred from one solvent to another owing to different solubility distribution coefficient between these two immiscible solvents. Now, which solvent is used in solvent extractions? The organic solvent with low polarity such as hexane, toluene, dichloromethane and diethyl ether, they are usually chosen the organic extractive solvent. Which is better extractive component, methanol or ethanol? Such a good question. The compound or comparison between the degrees, the Amazon and blended fuel indicate that methanol is more extractive than ethanol. The lowest hydrocarbon emission they are obtained with methanol blended fuel. When more combustion is completed, it will result lower hydrocarbon emissions. Now, last question. Why brine is used in extractions? This is also known as liquid-liquid extraction. Separate the organic compound in system from non-organic acid. Base bottom water layer is drained and to organic layer brine is added in order to remove any remaining water and halogen left in the organic system. Okay guys, this is straight 35 question as far as regarding extractive distillation coding. I hope you get sufficient knowledge after watching this video. Next chapter, we cover some another topic of chemical engineering. Still then, goodbye. Do take good care of yourself and enjoy your Sunday.